And we are underway.
There we go.
All
And
right,
we get a sword.
A sword in Link's house, plus $100 in the sanctuary. So, for once, we actually get the sword at the start of the race.
That must be exciting for them. So that's kind of nice.
Having a perma weapon is always much appreciated in Randomizer. Now, interesting enough, Vivi is going to, I imagine, set up a Houlihan. That will enable him to get 225 rupees, which you see this more in Keysanity because with the dungeon items in the prize pool, the chances of getting money for Zora, the bottle vendor, everything else, sometimes is not the case.
We have a Dark Palace compass down in Escape on Big Dunka.
Yeah, as we mentioned, all the compasses will do is show you how many items are in there. And I would imagine with the runners we're dealing with,
they probably don't need it.
They're still just as useless as they are in regular Randomizer.
But it's one less thing you have to worry about being in another chest.
That is true. Alright, so Vivi is going to go buy some bombs. Big Dunka is on his way to the front portion of the escape sequence.
This is a nice early divergence.
And Vivi showed us that there was a map on Lake Hylia Island, and we have a pod small key in the escape.
So, looking like a back of Sahasrara check over on Vivi's screen.
Yeah, you can also talk to Sahasrara, and we'll see that the green pendant today is Ice Palace. Alright, big key.
Skull.
As well as an Aga Tower key, the small key to Desert Palace in the escape, as well as the key to Samaria in Sahasrara's closet. So the key to Desert will help because that's the only small key, so having that is important. As well as the Swamp Palace, the small key there. You gotta have that Swamp Palace small key or you can't even get into Swamp Palace. Skullwood's big key is pretty much useless because you just need it for the big chest.
Yeah. There are 2 dungeons where you don't actually need a big key. Big key of this dungeon. Alright.
Yeah, that's a thing that was added in version 29. When we did the Keysanity tournament at the start of the year in version 28, if you got a dungeon item in its actual dungeon, it wouldn't say anything, and so it led to like a wait, what was this? And so now we actually put that in, so that way, even though that guard will always hold the big key to Hyrule Castle, you know it's the big key to Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, so you don't get confused. You're like, which key do I have? And you're doing more map checks.
Yep. So Vivi is making his way into Eastern Palace. We saw the map to Hyrule Castle in Eastern as the first item, and Big Dunka is making his way to the sewer chest in Escape.
Small key to Dark Palace. So we have another odd key.
So I believe I think that's 2 in aggregate, I think, because I think one of them was in the escape sequence. And blue mail in the sewer chest. Oh no, I was wrong. The desert key was the one in escape. So the pod key, Vivi does have 2 pod keys. All right, we got the cape in Eastern.
Just some rupees from the tree pool on Big Dunka, but it looks like he's gonna go check Lumberjack Ledge, possibly?
Yep. We saw 10 arrows from the bush crabs and just single rupees from the tree pole. And we have a
key.
That could be tempting because we don't know what key that is until we actually pick it up.
And you gotta hope it's something. Well, I guess for them, they probably hope it's something not really important. But we all know we hope it is something important.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that in terms of Aga 1 access, we've already got one of the Aga Tower keys. We've got the cape and we've got a sword. So we just need the lamp and one more Aga Tower key, and you can complete Aga 1.
Yes.
Ooh, and Vivi took a death before getting that last the vanilla big key chest. Press F to pay respects.
He's going back for it, looks like.
He's certainly going back for it.
Big Dunka is going to give us our Kakariko checks, maybe?
Yep, I think he's going to go check tavern and then buy bombs if he doesn't get any from the tavern.
Just a heart piece.
And as predicted, Big Dunko does buy some bombs.
And we're gonna go blow up the old lady's house. I always feel so bad for her, just blowing up her wall.
Well, it's her fault for putting a chest in a room and then blocking it up, especially when it has the big key to pod.
But that's like her heirloom, her family heirloom. Maybe she's the keeper of Pod, and they just stole her family treasure.
We got a world to save.
All right, Blind's hut. Turtle Rock small key, 50 rupees. A lot of cash. We did see the Cane of Brenna on VV screen in that chest he went back for as well.
All right, we got the Meyer big key in there. So that's interesting. Both invincibility items inside of Eastern Palace. I don't know if that means anything, but interesting that both of them ended up there. But Vivi is actually going to go check the sewer, the dam area, and probably Ice Rod Cave and Mini Children.
Oh, there's the Master Sword.
So, Aga 1, there's the big key to Thieves Town. Aga 1, I got a feeling we might be seeing Aga 1 today.
Another pod. Small key. There's the lamp.
All right, we're one key away from Aga 1 access. And we got a power glove.
Swamp Palace, big key.
And actually, Vivi's gonna go check Aeginus Cave before checking Mini Trolldorm Cave.
I actually really appreciate that. I have been duped by this cave many a seed. And I've actually started routing it into the beginning. So.
Alright, so you have a compass on the library. Yeah, alright, well...
Oh!
Race game has the Moon Pearl, and we got a heart container in Aeginus Cave. Yeah, because I was about to say, I just got done, we had a mini Overworld Glitches tournament that was put on, and so it was interesting with the different routing there, how like Aeginus Cave usually gets orphaned all the time, and in Overworld Glitches it's like, no, that's part of the standard route.
I feel Ice Rod Cave is also one that seems to be orphaned a lot as well. And catfish. They're just so out of the way, unless you can find a reason to route it in. A lot of people just don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
VV killing off. Oh, he fell to the Moldorm.
Got mini trolled almost.
The bow. So that'll help him in Eastern.
We got another heart container.
And bombs.
Okay, so interesting that Vivi has already done 2 dips into Eastern. There's another sword upgrade. And there's the other Aga Tower key.
Wow, so we've seen 3 swords and full Aga access. And a lot of keys for Pod.
And honestly, like, we don't have much left. We've got, Ice Rod Cave. We've got...
Which Vivi's going into now.
Yeah, and we've got about 3 checks in... We've got 3 checks up on Death Mountain that we can logically get to. Well, Zora could also... Zora is in logic by the Power Glove, but everything else around the Zora area, you would have to fake Flipper in order to get.
Yes. So there's not too much more they can do. Looks like they might be forced into Aga.
Although we are 1 item away from Dark World access, since we have the Power Glove and the Moon Pearl.
You thinking Zora might have it?
It's possible. At this point, if I'm Big Dunka, I'm probably going to do a fake Flipper and check the Zora area. And then, depending on what's there, I would probably at least do a climb up Death Mountain before I... Well, he hasn't been to Sahasrara and Eastern, so I would do those, especially now that he has the bow, because he can
full
well,
clear.
we still need the big key. That's the one thing.
Yes.
So taking everything in aggregate, I would at least make sure I go up to Death Mountain before I do Aga 1.
Oh, but he's gonna go do Ice Rod check first. Maybe he'll come back down and fake Flipper afterwards?
That's usually how it goes. Rasper Help Desk also reminding us that because the 2 Aga Tower keys are in our possession at this point, that means there are 2 items in Aga Towers, so it's entirely possible that while you're climbing Aga 1, you could find that hammer or the other glove upgrade in order to get Dark World access from there.
Or even the big key we need to complete Eastern. Wrap it all around.
Alright, but we are going to see that fake Flipper from Big Dunka.
Nice.
And as is being discussed in chat, yes, we have found the Swamp Big Key, but we haven't found the Swamp Small Key at this point. All right, looks like our love today is water under the bridge.
Vivi's going through and doing all the Kakariko checks. He might just go straight to Aga. but could fake flipper as well.
All right. We have a small key of Skullwoods and 20 bucks in the Waterfall of Wishing Cave.
In a moment, we're gonna see what's up on the ledge, see if we need some actual flippers. Just some bombs.
And Big Dunka doesn't have enough money for Zora, so gonna nope out.
Ooh. So, looks like he might be making that Aga play.
He's just going for it. He knows there's a small key on the Lumberjack ledge, and I think he's just going right for it.
Vivi's gonna go get his Moon Pearl here.
Now again, this isn't as bad of a play as it would be in non-Keysanity, because again, with the 2 tower keys being outside of the Aga Tower, there are actually 2 items here that could be progression. One of them being a bottle of blue potion.
Maybe Sick Kid will have something nice for us today.
It's entirely possible, but to the point, like, this usually is a time sink, but I think it's pretty clear that the seed is trying to point you in the direction of coming here.
And 20 bucks.
And Big Dunka's gonna nope out before finishing the climb.
Do you think he doesn't realize?
Chat saying he only had 1 key, so he had to nope out.
Oh, the other one was in Eastern.
That's right.
He's gonna go check Sahasrara.
So he'll get his Cane of Samaria as well as the 1 big key that I think it was here.
Oh no, that Sasha had the other small key.
And it was the Skullwoods big key that was there.
Do you think he'll go back and try again?
Well, he's certainly heading for Eastern Palace itself, and is gonna go as far as he can, but without having the big key, he'll go as far as Vivi has.
And it looks like Vivi might be going to do that play as well. See, oh nope, he's going to finish escape.
Yeah, he didn't do the front. He didn't do the front portion.
I feel like after this though, Big Dunka might go back up into the tower.
And there's the other pod key.
Yes, this one just had the... Vivi picking up his Desert Palace small key.
As people are talking in chat, their question was, why do people torture themselves with this? It's a challenge. You have to keep in your head all of the information of what you need to go into a dungeon and complete it. And so it's the challenge. It's a challenge of juggling all this information in your head, trying to figure out the puzzle and where to go next, as well as the execution of playing through the Zelda game.
And then you also have to think if you want to fully clear the dungeon with the amount of keys you have, if you can go mode, because each type of clear you want to do in a dungeon requires a different amount of keys. So you might need 6 keys for a full clear. Your go mode's probably going to need a lot less because you're going to have to go through a lot less doors.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Big Duncan got that second Agate Tower key, and it looks like he is, in fact, heading back.
Vivi picking up his blue mail in the dark room, setting up another death warp. And he's gonna do the climb as well?
I think he had both. There was one in Hospital's closet. The other one was... that was in the...
Rico.
Yeah, I think it was in the well. And yeah, as we see on his HUD, he does have both of them.
Must be nice to have Tempered this early as well. It makes these enemies a lot easier to get through. I've noticed though, they call Tempered Sword Bacon Sword, you have Buttered Sword. Why doesn't the Master Sword have a nice food name?
Lightsaber?
You can't eat a lightsaber.
Oh, food name.
Yeah.
Popsicle, maybe? I mean, I'm doing the best I can here.
Oh, no, I couldn't think of anything either. Popsicle's better than what I had. Chat says blue popsicle. So they agree with you. They like it.
Nice. All right, speaking of blue things in Randomizer, we keep the same number of things with Aga and Ganon to be the same sequence. So that means as we approach Aghanim 1, how many blue balls do you think we're going to see today from the mean wizard?
I feel like a good 4.
I'm going to say 6.
6? Ouch. Apparently chat wants 99.
That unless you miss, that's not possible, because the first one is always a normal shot, then the next 3 are randomized, and then the 5th one is the lightning. There's the 1 blue ball, and then it spins again in that order. So the max it can be is, so assuming you hit all of them correctly, the max is 15, but so far we're just at 1. All right, two more shots to go. One more.
Oh, wow.
And just one.
Just one.
That's just one blue ball.
Huh. Well, we were both wrong.
The seeder's being nice today.
I mean, it did force them to come up here pretty early on.
Ooh, an ice rod on the pyramid ledge.
That's nice.
All right, map check. We got 5-6 crystals at Swamp and Mire.
I feel like because it gave Ice Rod this early, Turtle Rock's not going to be required, because that's just too nice. Unless they make you hunt for the Fire Rod.
That's usually how it goes. But predictably, Big Dunka is going to head to Pod. Because even though we've beat Aga 1, we still need the boots to get that key that's on the Lumberjack ledge. And realistically, in terms of progression, we really haven't opened up all that much.
And we got a lot of keys for Pod.
With 3, if you know how to do the hammer yump, you can clear all of the item locations in Pod that isn't on Helmassar.
Vivi's making the same play. These guys are on the same wavelength right now.
I mean, realistically, there's those couple items on Death Mountain that we haven't seen yet, but other than that, there's really nowhere else for the runners to go.
First check. Ooh. We got Quake.
Yep. Now, it is bow locked, but the thing is, again, using your keys efficiently in Pod and Keysanity, you're not going through that front door if you got the bow, because you can save a key and just always go through the bow lock portion. So that's how you save one key.
Quake is nice to have, though, because you have that 33% chance that your required Myers gonna be needing that medallion for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we won't know what those are until we actually get to Mire and Turtle Rock, which we know Mire is a crystal, so we're gonna have to go to Mire.
We're gonna have to get some flutes.
Cyber Chow in chat. Yes, we do need a 4th key because we don't have the hammer. I'm talking about the fact that we can check everything but Helmassar. Oh, right.
We don't have the hammer.
We don't have the hammer to hit that peg to go check the rest of the stuff. Never mind.
I was hoping we were gonna find hammer in here, but it looks like Big Dunka's gonna death warp. Vivi's setting up his own death warp to head back out.
All right, so now there's Swagnet. Now it'll be a matter of what Big Duncan decides to use for that last key.
There's the hammer!
Yeah, okay!
Ha! See, I knew we'd get hammer in here.
So that means you're required. Well, okay. The logic will require you to get all 6 keys. In terms of sequence breaking, you were gonna need at least 5 keys in order to clear pod today.
He's gonna bomb jump down over to his big key chest.
Yeah, this one is very pixel perfect. You got a very tight window. Oh!
Oh, he's gonna try again though. Vivi also going for the bomb jump.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, this is in Keysanity, this is a pretty standard bomb jump because again, you can save a key doing it.
Arrow upgrade and a key, small key to skull.
Okay. Alazon IRL, can you not hammer Yump from coming from the top of the bridge? Yes, it's just you have less time because of the fact that the bridge is collapsing. So most runners will do it from the bottom because they have more time to set it up.
They're asking if you need the platform to be collapsing. Doesn't the platform not collapse if you walk from the top?
It will collapse from both directions. And Thieves Town small key in the vanilla big key chest. It will collapse from both directions. It's just a matter of how much time you have in order to set up the jump from both directions.
The sprite on Vivi is actually Vivi. So he's playing himself.
Yes. And interesting enough, Vivi choosing to use that last key to go kill Helmasaur. Big Duncan, meanwhile, is going to go turn in the bottle from the sick kid.
Oh.
Yo, dog, I heard you like fetch quests, so I put a fetch quest in your fetch quest, so you can fetch quest while you fetch quest.
Oh, I love fetch quests.
And speaking of fetch quests, Big Dunka getting said mushroom is actually gonna do a fake powder. And heart container from the magic bat. Chat asking, where's Vitasia when you need him? Well, see, I can't sing to save my life. That's why I go with the memes.
I don't know, I like using the frozen version. Do you want to do a fetch quest?
I don't deny that it's good. I just deny that I also don't deny that I can't sing it.
It's not that you can't. I just don't mind embarrassing myself. Alright, we have Helmasaur down.
Yep.
And half magic.
Okay.
That's big. So that, to me, says Spike Cave.
Well, the thing is, you've got the Cane of Burna already, so you would have been able to do, Spike Cave even without the half magic with the Cane of Burna.
True, but I like having those safeties.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not good at. I'll take whatever safeties I can get as well. It's just logically, what could that half magic point to, and realistically, not much.
Small key to Ganon's tower in Skull
Okay.
Woods.
We need at least one of those.
Vivi head into Dark World. Well,
Looks like we're gonna get a hype cave check.
small key to Swamp and Skull. How hype are we thinking Hype Cave's gonna be?
I don't know. We've gotten quite a bit. Let's see. Piece of heart. 20 bucks. $5. Titan's mitts.
Oh,
And 20 bucks. So, meh.
meh.
I mean, the Titan's mitts are huge, but you still have to take Hype Cave in aggregate.
That's true. But I feel, I don't know, 3? 3 out of 10?
Meh for me is kind of like a 5.
Meh's a 5?
Yeah. Chat, since we were talking about Spike Cave, someone in chat asked about Burna taking more magic. It's actually the cape uses more magic than the cane of Burna. So, in the logic for Spike Cave, if you have the cane of Burna, that's all you need on top of Hammer and Power Glove. For cape, you need at least a bottle in order to refill your magic, because the magic meter on its own will not be enough to get through all of Spike Cave.
Just some bombs in the dig game.
All right, small key on the bumper ledge, so Big Dunk is gonna go up and get it.
Vivi bypassing our bullfrog friend.
Well, he doesn't have the mirror to get Jeremiah home just yet, so...
I mean, technically, he could save and quit for it, but it does make a little bit of a trek.
Yeah, you might as well get as much done as you can in the Dark World before you do that. And we didn't point out earlier when Vivi did finish off Helmasar that Pod is in fact a crystal dungeon.
Yes, and we know it's a standard crystal because we already know our 5 and 6 crystals from having their maps.
Yep, and Swamp and Mire. All right, so both runners are converging into Village of Outcasts. We have the map for Turtle Rock in the C-shaped house, the compass for Eastern in the brewery.
Vivi checking our chess game for just a 5-arrow upgrade. He's not heading into Thieves Town.
It'll be interesting. Well, he has still to do C-shaped house.
That's correct.
No, it'll also be interesting because Big Dunka got the Thieves Town small key in the vanilla big key chest in Pod. Turtle Rock was a crystal. But both runners are going to head in. So the thing is that Vivi does not have the small key to access the big chest here in Thieves Town. So it'll be interesting to see how far, if Vivi decides to go there, and whether or not there actually is an item of value in that Thieves Town big chest.
But the mirror!
That will certainly help. And is also required since Swamp is a crystal dungeon. So at this point, we definitely need the hook shot, the fire rod. Flute. Wait, did we get the flute somewhere?
No. Did I miss it?
It's showing up on Big Dunka's tracker. And all right, we got the literacy in Thieves Town.
Was in Skull Woods.
Oh, we missed that.
Yeah. Was in Skullwood's big chest. Thank you, chat.
All right. Oh, that would explain it. I was rattling off Hype Cave while he was doing the bomb jump for the Skullwood's big chest, which explains how I missed it.
Ah. We got 2 hype.
I mean, again, it wasn't that hype of a cave to begin with, so...
So after Thieves Town, maybe we'll see a mirror to activate our flute.
I mean, you're right there. You might as well. Granted, Big Dunk is the only one that has it. Vivi has not gone to Skullwoods yet.
Okay. Maybe he'll dip Skull after this. You know, for the longest time, I didn't know why you bombed this floor. I'm like, what is the point of just blowing a hole in the floor? It took me until just recently, actually, to figure out that that's the required light to fight blind.
I'm guessing you didn't play this game as a kid?
No, I didn't actually until fairly recently play it. I didn't play a lot of video games as a kid.
Yeah, I've been playing this game since it came out in 1991, so yeah, that's just a thing you just have since the game's been out.
Fair.
Basically,
I couldn't play it in 91.
Well, the whole lore of this is that the blind is pretending to be the maiden, and then the light is revealing his true form.
So was blind a he or a she?
It's an it. It's not really known what the gender is. Meanwhile, Vivi won't have to worry about the Thieves Town big chest because it's just the map for Ice Palace, and we know that's a green pendant anyway.
Wonder if he'll be tempted to come back in later. Solid blind fight from Vivi. Interestingly enough, no matter what sword you have, blind will always take 9 hits, 3 on each head.
We do get the map of Skullwoods from blind. All right, very nicely done.
Me mirroring for a sick kid check.
All right, so I would imagine We're gonna see that Skullwoods is also a crystal. And Big Dunga's not gonna activate that flute just yet. Probably gonna do Jeremiah here next, it looks like. Or, digging game, and then probably, well, we'll see where he goes from here.
He hasn't done Hype Cave yet. Vivi entering into goal. Yes, chat saying Duncan needs to go to Hype Cave first, which is because that is where he will get his second mitts, and then he could go and do Jeremiah.
That is true. All right, Arrow of Destiny in the South Grove Cave. Now, normally you could go talk to the bomb vendor, and the bomb vendor will tell you what the 5-6 crystals are. But since we already know that Mire and Swamp are those, you don't need to worry about them.
Big Duck, I'm gonna go check his semi-hype cave.
And Big Dunka gonna go check Bombo's tablet while he's here and has the means to clear it.
To answer chat, Dunka did not activate his flute yet. He instantly headed south.
Turtle Rock Compass on the Bombos tablet.
Vivi checking Graveyard Cliff.
And then Big Dunga's gonna do Agina's Cave. We know it's a heart container there. Be interesting to see if Big Dunga decides to go into desert, because he can full clear desert at this point. Nope, he just nopes out.
Just some money up on Graveyard Cliff.
Oh, chat reminding me, we have the desert small key, we don't have the desert big key. I mean, it's been a while since I've done Keysanity. It's still got to get back into remembering all the... I already have enough trouble remembering everything enough as it is. Keysanity just adds to it.
That's why we have our lovely trackers who are here assisting us.
Yep, we'll get him a shout out, but meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, please join us for the playing of the national Swag Duck Anthem. And with that, the Hawk's about to rock, and we salute you.
A little high five between Duck and Vivi as they both release the Swag Duck.
and as you were pointing out our tracker, we do want to give a shout out to Obscure Jackal, doing a great job keeping track of all the items, because again, I'm screwing up remembering what's where.
She's doing a great job, so nice shout out to her.
Meanwhile, Meyer is Quake Medallion, so we can get in there. Well, okay, we can get in there, but until we get either the hook shut or the boots, we won't be able to actually get in beyond opening the door.
We got the Turtle Rock big key and the map of Pod in that little side room to Meyer.
Desert is a pendant.
Vivi getting some bombs from the breadsmiths.
I missed what was on Checkerboard Cave. I'm going to check it on the restream.
Checkerboard Cave, I think, was just a compass.
All right, Desert Ledge, $5. And Big Dunga is going to go ahead and head into Desert. We have everything but the big keys. So you can check the 5 chests in the front. But then we won't be able to actually go beat Lamulus for that 6th item.
No boots required for this one, just a bomb upgrade on the lamp.
Speaking of which, that small key that's on the Lumberjack ledge, it turned out it was an Agaseed regardless of what was on the Lumberjack ledge. But now that I'm looking at it, that small key, realistically, other than maybe a Turtle Rock small key or the Hera small key if it's needed for the coffee break room, those are really the only small keys left of any consequence. Everything else, all the other dungeons, we have the amount of keys we need that aren't already in the dungeon through enemies and pot drops.
I mean, could be a Ganon's Tower key.
Yeah, but you won't... okay, assuming you do not have to go through the basement because you found the big key outside, you only need one of the small keys to run the gauntlet because of the keys that are embedded in the gauntlet in the mini Helmasaur and whatnot. So assuming we do not have to go through the basement, we have the one we need right now, minus the big one, obviously.
We also got the map for Eastern off of our returning the purple lunchbox.
All right, we have a small key on Spectacle Rock. Inside it is just 10 arrows.
Vivi going to check Meyer.
Meanwhile, Big Dunka heading up further into Death Mountain. I'm gonna pick up that small key, and it's a Turtle Rock small key. So we've got the 3 we need. The fourth one is just if you bypass the vanilla big key door. So into Hera we go. So yeah, at this point, unless we need the coffee break for Hera, I think we found all the small keys of consequence. Well, maybe... Okay. Yep. All right, we are locked out of Hera.
Maybe it's a Hera key. That would be nice.
It could be a Hera key. It could also be a pod key. Because Big Dunka still has to beat Helmastar.
Just a heart piece up on the floating island.
We do have the Swamp Key. And now let's see what we need to get into Turtle Rock. It is also Quake.
That was nice of this seed.
So in terms of go mode, flippers, hookshot, fire rod, maybe boots. Plus the assortment of keys we're still looking for. Desert Palace, Big Key, and Super Bunny Cave, and Water Toes.
Maybe we'll get a Zora check since we didn't have the money last time.
Mushroom leading to just a 5-bomb upgrade. Vivi gonna refill his magic and then get some blue potion. All right, heart container in Spiral Cave. So, we can't. We could go check Lambo. Oh, Eastern was the other pendant, so Hera is going to be a crystal. So we are going to need that Hera small key.
Small key for Misery Mire. I was hoping that was going to be the Hera.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all the keys you need in Keysanity to clear out Mire, you can get embedded in the dungeon, so all Mire small keys are pretty much useless. Alright, Fisher My Price first shield, a piece of Chivalry, and that's it. So at this point, we do need the GT big key. We need the fire rod, hook shot, maybe boots. Depending on what that small key is on the ledge. But I think key-wise, we've pretty much got everything we need.
Huh. Ganon Tower, big key.
Yeah, sorry, I think I mentioned that, but... Alright, Big Dunka is gonna head into Turtle Rock, which I gotta say... I wouldn't blame him. There's not really much else the runners can go at this point. I mean, you're pretty much either going into Turtle Rock or going into Swamp Palace without the hook shot.
I mean, they have a key, so they can get into it.
Yeah, they can get in, but without the fire rod, you're orphaning the 2 chests on the right side. And you also can't beat Trinax without that fire rod.
True. Big Dunka being pushed off his platform Twice.
Getting trolled by that jelly. Ed just trolling himself now. There you go. Getting some rage slashes in. But yeah, this is probably, other than Turtle Rock, you could probably do Ice Palace.
Well, Duncan
even though it is a pendant dungeon.
Can clear desert now.
Yeah, and it's just the one item, but it would just be the one item on Lammo, and it's a pendant. I'd probably go as far as I can in Turtle Rock like Big Dunkada is, and then it's kind of a choice of, do you want to do pendant Ice Palace that you can clear, or Crystal Swamp Palace that you can't? Big Dunkada's got to be careful, only half a heart left.
Oh, but he's got a blue
potion. Yep, and predictably gonna leave the vanilla big key chest alone with using that key.
Vivi picking up his shovel. Dunka heading into Mimic Cave.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Chat bringing up a good point. We don't have a fire source to get through the freezer room in Ice Palace. So, Ice Palace is off the table right now. Yeah, I gotta think. There's Ether. Totally useless in the seed. We might be looking at a Swamp Palace dip after this, because I don't really know where else the runners can go at this point. Eastern and Desert are clearable, but the only items... Well, okay, Desert is clearable. Eastern, we still need the big key.
Yes. I mean, maybe it'll be a fun pet scene.
Could be. Blossom in chat. First room in Ice Palace can be done with a medallion in some randomizer modes. That is only swordless mode, and it still has to be a it has to be the Bombos medallion. What that basically is, in swordless mode, you can only use the medallions on a medallion floor tile. So in swordless mode, we put the Bombos medallion tile there so that you can use Bombos to kill the freezer to get in.
Big Dunka headed to Laser Bridge. Boots!
What are those indeed?
Small key to Meyer.
All right, I would be imagining we'll be going to get that small key in the Lumberjack Cave in short order.
Maybe we'll see a catfish to Zora check since they have the mirror now.
Possibly. Instead, Big Duncan, again, making a fool of me because with those boots, that means you can get into Mire, so Big Duncan's gonna head to Mire, because that's now full clearable. So into Mire we go. At this point, we should remind everyone, please be sure to give Big Duncan and Vivi follows on Twitch. They are putting on quite the show for us today, and they deserve your follows for the entertainment they are putting on for us.
Vivi picking up his Thieves Town compass in the back of Mimic Cave. Big key to Ganon's tower for Big Dunka.
And there goes my dreams of having to do a big key guessing game at some point.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Maybe we'll have a nice silvers hunt. Technically, we could do Ganon silverless, but
yeah, and I believe Big Dunka can do Ganon silverless. I don't know about Vivi. Ooh! Gotta use the lamp to get the fire rod.
wow.
So that means we've got the hair small key to find and the hook shot, and that's go mode. Hey, Big Dunka, you picked up a fire rod. You can do this a lot faster.
Maybe he wants to conserve magic?
There really wouldn't be a need to. Kina Samari doesn't use that much. Probably just forgot, to be honest.
Vivi gonna follow suit and head into Mire. Now it's just a question of where's Hookshot.
There's the hair small key. So it turned out Aga was required, but unless that key on the Lumberjack Ledge is a pod small key, It was really just for Dark World access. Big Dunka gonna do another fake powder in order to get that Antifairy, or at least get that one, and just gonna get the one fairy for the Vitreous fight.
Full magic refill.
All right, so to answer your question, Kitty, I mean, realistically, that hook shot could be almost anywhere, other than, like, you know, inside Hookshot Cave or inside the back portion of Swamp Palace. So,
did they do the first chest in Hookshot Cave?
No, they haven't done that one yet. That one is accessible with the boots, to your point. Yeah. So,
Catfish, Zora, first chest in Hookshot, and then all these other dungeons.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we've been forgetting about? We still need the Hera big key.
That's right, because with the small key just gets us in the basement.
Alright. Big Dunka making his way into Vitreous.
Looks like he's gonna do cape strats.
He's got enough magic. Alright. Alright, down goes the big eyeball.
Just for $50.
But the Fire Rod and the GT big keys certainly, well, in the crystal, certainly Meyer certainly had progression.
But now where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go clear out desert?
No, he's gonna pull out.
I was
pull
hopeful.
out the flute. He is going to, I imagine Skull wants to go finish off Mothula.
They could do some Ice Palace checks now as well. It's a pendant, but
yeah, they would be able to, if you know your bomb jumps, you can full clear Ice Palace right now because you don't need the big key. Well, except for the big chest. But you don't need the big key. You can get around around the door for Cold Stare. You just, if you know your bomb jumps, you can check everything but the Ice Palace big chest. And with it being a green pendant, as Duke Firebird and Chaz pointing out, you also could then check what items the Hostile has.
yes. And he's correct. It does have a lot of worth to it. As you guess, Big Dunka heading out to finish off Mothula. In my opinion, the hardest boss in this game because there's so many mechanics to it.
I have certainly taken my number of deaths, share of deaths on Mothula.
I tried to explain this boss to some friends and they just kind of stared at me. Moving floors, spikes that shoot out at you, fire rings.
And Big Dunka gets it done. For powder.
But we already did the back because he fake powdered.
Mm-hmm.
BB clearing up Misery Mire at the same time.
I was about to say Big Dunka. There's still one chest left. I wonder if he'll check pet after this. All right, red mail in Skullwoods.
BB looking like he's gonna do a catfish check?
Yes, but we are also gonna get a pedestal check. Hera Big Keys, hook shot. Just a little bit of love.
The pedestal disappointed us, but it still loves us. BB going to catfish, my favorite part of this game.
And catfished again for 3 bombs.
But gonna mirror to Zora.
Yeah, because he hasn't done
The northern part.
He hasn't done Waterfall of Wishing, so yeah. I imagine we'll get a Zora check after this. Alright. Big Dunka, I think also about to show us what that key was on the lumberjack ledge. Alright, well, alright, let's see. It is the pod key. Alright, excuse me. There once was a fish named Zora who gives you flippers and vanilla. And Rando, he sucks. For 500 bucks, we did the stupid trek for a heart container.
I guess catfish didn't pull through. Ped didn't pull through. But I guess Zora loves us the most of all.
Meh. Alright, so I imagine we're gonna see Flanktuary on both screens. B-Torp and Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, GT Small Key.
We're running out of areas for hookshot. At least not inside a dungeon.
Caladris in chat said he's stealing the Flanktuary name. I stole that from Dr. Bob, so do with that what you will. I gotta, at this point, I gotta feel like Ice Palace probably is the play though, because that's where the most items are that's left.
Yeah, and they can, after getting fire out, they can actually do something in it. Or jump into the basement of Hera, but
that would just be one item unless the big key is in the basement.
Value-wise, I think you're right. I think Ice Palace is the place to go. Big Dunka gonna turn in his mushroom from earlier. Looks like he's also making catfish play, maybe?
Evie about to get the red mail, and then probably kill Mothula as well. All right, Duncan get his love from the fish. Vivi about to go burn a moth.
So in chat, they're asking why are there keys and numbers on the tracker? This would be a Keysanity run where all of your keys for any dungeon can be strewn about the world in any other location. So on top of being randomized items, you also have the keys, compass, and maps added into that randomized through any chest in the game. Those numbers down on your tracker are going to be your keys, the numbers being small keys, and the highlighted big key for when they pick up the big keys for those areas. This includes the Ganon Tower big key being anywhere throughout the world.
Which we found it in Myers, so we aren't going to need to look for it today. And gonna be interesting to see what Big Dunka's wanting to do. Is he, with that fire rod, he may be going to finish off Trinex.
Do you know Trinex is called that? Because he actually has 3 necks.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. This is your first comm. It's like, it's one of those things where I'm like the playful, sarcastic guy in me is like, no, you don't say. But I don't know if that would be it. I mean, you're laughing, so you would have taken it well.
I felt your judging in the silence afterwards.
That was more of a, do I dig myself a hole as Vivi pulls out the shovel, strike the earth compass. That was more do I dig myself a hole than it is judging you.
It's my favorite little bit of logic. Totorock, I've noticed, is also the only dungeon that describes its boss, because he's literally a turtle inside of a rock.
Alright, so there was another pod key in the fire rod lock portion. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's some of the other dungeon bosses and whatnot are plays on their names, but I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
I mean, Misery Mire is pretty miserable.
As Otaku Crimson points out, Thieves Town, blind is a thief in a town.
That's true.
And this Ice Palace dip we've been hyping up, Vivi is finally going to make the play into Ice Palace.
Oh, this is going to be exciting.
We're still looking for the Hera big key and the hook shot, and that will be go mode.
I wonder if Vivi's going to, if not finding hookshot in here, try and full clear Ice Palace to get that green pendant turned to Sasha.
I would imagine if he... I would imagine he would. The thing is that at this stage in the race, being forced to double dip is going to be a big time sink. So the more things you can get done in a dungeon, the better. Without finding the Ice Palace big key, we won't be able to get the big chest. So there's still going to be at least one item that will need to be acquired.
Vivi making the bomb jump, but ended up getting knocked off right at the last skull.
Meanwhile, Big Dunka's taking on the three-headed turtle rock monster. Takes care of phase 1 and is into phase 2. And gets it done.
Such a clean fight.
For the silver arrows.
There was my question on where silvers were. Looks like we aren't going to see a silverless fight today.
And there's the hook shot in Ice Palace.
Wow. So all we need is Hera big key.
Hera big key will be go mode. And a heart piece in the first chest in Hookshot Cave.
There's so many places that key can be. Dunka making Spike Cave, but...
And the thing is, both of these runners have Butter Sword and Spike Cave. Both of the runners have done their share of orphaning one-off items in different dungeons, so it's gonna be... Usually in Keysanity, it's the GT big key that leads the runners on a wild goose chase, but today it may be the Hera big key.
We all knew Trolldorm was really the biggest troll of this game.
Hence his namesake.
Because, well, like, Catfish disappoints, Pedestal disappoints. Trolldorm's just...
It's the reason why we give Moldorm the nickname Trolldorm.
Dunka heading in to clear out Pod.
All right, into Cold Stairway for Vivi.
In chat, Lumberjack was a pod key.
Yep. We were hyping that up for a while, but turned out it wasn't of any importance. Although it will be important for Big Dunka. Because he still has Helmastar to beat.
Vivi finishing off for the green pendant.
Alright, so we know Big Dunka has to go to Ice Palace to get the hook shot. And then it's simply a matter of where is the Hera Big Key. And actually, with that hook shot, Vivi is going to be making the play on Swamp Palace.
Maybe we'll find it there.
That would put Vivi into go mode. And actually, if the Hera Big Key is in Swamp Palace, that would give Vivi a bit of a lead at this point, because even though well, there's the Hera. Well, that kind of answers my question, because I don't think Big Dunka is going to the first chest in Swamp to get the Hera Big Key. He's probably going to do Ice Palace, so even though he has Turtle Rock done, he's still probably going to full clear Ice Palace before heading to Swamp. And yeah, 1 hour, 32 minutes, 10 seconds. Vivi is into go mode.
Big Dunka finally picking up his half magic and pod.
I imagine Big Dunka's probably about to do a Smith chain here.
Hmm. If it was me, or if I was Vivi, I would probably, after finishing this, head to Turtle Rock and then go to Tower of Herrick's. He could just mirror right outside of it and be straight at Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, that would probably be the strategy that makes the most sense. And to Zarson's point, or question in chat, why would Dunka do Ice before Swamp? At this point, you're trying to go to the place that has the most item locations and trying to play the numbers. And so Ice Palace, there's 8 item locations in Keysanity. Swamp Palace, without, even with the small key, that's 5, 6 if you were to find the big key. So realistically, you would probably want to go to Ice Palace before Swamp Palace, just because there's more items to check.
Also with Swamp, he doesn't have the hook shot, which he would need it to complete it, whereas Ice Palace he could fully complete if he needed to, and possibly having an item sit on the green pendant.
And while we were discussing that, Vivi did take down Argus. And fluting to Death Mountain. Is Big Dunka about to go to desert? Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
He also didn't have the Eastern Palace map until recently, so he didn't even know it was a pendant and not a crystal.
At this point, we know he's got to go to Ice Palace to get the hook shot, and then the first chest in Swamp has the Hera Big Key.
Big Dunka's checking all of his one-off shots that he left behind earlier.
Ooh, just a bit outside on the one cycle.
Finishes off for some love in Blue Pendant.
Locklear asking, why are bonks in logic but not bomb jumps? Because of the discussion about bonking into mire. There is a room in Ganon's tower that you can only access by bonking off the wall, and so the developers intended you to use bonks to move around, hence why bonks are in logic. Meanwhile, Vivi knows he's in go mode and he's going straight for Trinex, and Big Dunka is finally making his way into Ice Palace.
Hopefully he feels happy once he finds that hook shot. Vivi having a very clean Trinex fight.
Very clean, and down goes Trinex. right, so just a mirror into Hera, and then mirror back and run the gauntlet.
Chat asking why are silver arrows not required. You can actually defeat Ganon without the silver arrows. It just takes a little bit more time.
It's another one of those things that aren't intended. The randomizer, I mean, the thing is that every item is eventually accessible, but I believe there is some logic to make sure that at least tempered sword and silver arrows is somewhat available in order to complete the game. The randomizer game, I should say.
Well, I've seen seeds where people don't get the silvers. I don't think I've ever seen them locked behind something.
Yeah. All right, that is crystal number 7 for Vivi.
Very quick Moldorm fight.
Yeah, Mikan bringing up a good point. At the time you get to Ganon, everything is accessible. I just thought I heard somewhere that, like, there was some sort of logic about sword and arrow placement, but I could very well be mistaken. Because the truth of the matter is, at this point, the randomization is done. Vivi has enough keys to run the gauntlet. It has red mail, silvers, tempered sword. It is all execution now for Vivi.
As some would say, it's his lead to lose. Just want to remind everybody, these aren't the only 2 runners doing this either. It's a daily background who are not being restreamed, but are still playing the same seed.
Yeah, we have not had anyone finish yet. So, of the 2 featured runners we have, Vivi is the one that is ahead of Big Dunk at this point, but we don't know until we see people done in the SRL chat. We won't know. But Vivi is into the gauntlet.
Chat asking how is it logic hookshot is locked behind a bomb jump. It's not actually locked behind a bomb jump. You can go up into that upper room and hit a switch and then come back down, and those pegs will be down on the floor. It just takes a little longer to use that route, so a lot of runners will use the bomb jump to be able to obtain a shorter route.
Well, it isn't even a matter of the bomb jump, because the thing is that the way the randomizer logic is set up for Ice Palace, the hook shot, in order to access that particular chest where the hook shot was, you either need the hook shot, the Cane of Brian, or the cape to get over the spikes, and then you need at least a small key. You need a small key to get through the door, or the hook shot to hook shot across. Because we had an Ice Palace small key that we had picked up, that is how it was in logic, because you could just use the key on the door and then use the Cane of Brian to get across the spikes. McCann also reminding me that you can also just damage boost your way through those spikes. You don't even need the Cane of Brian or the cape. The logic for Cane and cape is for if you're in one-hit KO mode, which we obviously aren't.
Blue Devil, yes, the bomb jump is kind of a special case. It is something the game's not designed to go around bomb jumps, but they are accessible by damaging yourself and using the blast to go somewhere normally you'd have to get to via other means.
Ooh! BB falling off. And now Big Dunk is into go mode.
Where's he going?
He still has to finish Argus for the crystal.
Ah, true. I forgot. I was like, wait, no, he's in go mode, but that's right, he hasn't finished this one yet. For some reason, my mind was like, go to Hera.
Oh, and trolled again. Or as Rick would say, Multizuma's revenge.
Had to get revenge for his brother you just killed a couple minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. All right, time for the geometry wars. All right, gets a double to start.
I don't know if that counted as 2 or 3 hits.
All right, and Agatu is down, and it is time for the big pig. All right, 12 sword slashes for phase 1 and 2. Two cycle. That'll be you can get 2 sword spins if you're in that setup. Which Vivi's using to his advantage. Ariza has 8.
Dunka clears out swamp.
And that's phase 3 for Vivi. All right, phase 4. 1 hit to the face, 3 more to go. Had to dodge Ganon. Oh! Vivi, you're a little too close there.
That was scary.
That's 3. And that'll do it.
Sure.
And with that, VV finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 43 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat. Unfortunately, VV was not the one to win the race. Dracarius was the one who finished with an official SRL time of 1:46.46, and Pink Kitty Rose came in second with an SRL time of 1:49.50.
Wow. That save at the end. Ooh. Big Dunka, meanwhile, heading down to finish off Troll Dorm.
And joining us in chat is Vivi. GG.
GG, Vivi.
Thanks.
How you feeling?
Whoa, that was a pretty decent seed, all in all. With after the AGA one required at the beginning, I was like, this is gonna be hell, but no, it ended up being just okay.
It was pretty linear after that. I mean, because
yeah.
It pretty much was the dungeon that made the most sense to go to had the next progression.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. You still had to make those plays in TR and Ice Palace, but they were the obvious choice when we got there, so.
Real quick, for updates, Data World finished with an SRL time of 1:52.11. Macanex finished with an SRL time of 1:52.33, 4th and 5th place at all. So 3rd place for you, Vivi. How you feeling on that?
Oh, that's pretty good for me. I'm not used to those results, particularly with players like PKR in the group and Drakkars who did very well too. It's like the first time I'm doing my GT climb with no one's done yet, so I was pretty nervous. Did some mistakes there, but didn't cost me any places, so not too bad.
We also should point out that save you had on Ganon.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened there. I wanted to get a triple, but it just pushed me back and didn't even freeze him. Oh, I got so scared.
Mini heart attacks. That was a good save, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but I'll take it any day.
So how did you feel hunting for a hook shot?
I didn't like it too much, but I was kind of hoping it was either boots lock or fire rod lock, so my dip in TR was not a. It made sense for me to. The double dip was required in TR. I'm not even sure if it was. I lost track of the logic so early in the seed, because I went to Eastern really early. Well, first thing in the run. And I think I got an AGA key there. I hope so, because that's what saved me, I think, because there was nothing else there. But I really lost track of the logic in the seed.
So you were asking, was Turtle Rock required double dip?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is.
It was, because you needed to get, it was boots on the laser bridge. And then that was what led you into, well, let me think about this.
It depends where Bombos was, I think. I'm not sure if anyone found Bombos.
No, we never found Bombos.
So yeah, Bombos was probably in GT, so yeah, probably the double dip was required.
Yeah. Because you would have needed the Fire Rod and Mire to go into Ice Palace in the first place.
Whew.
Meanwhile, Big Dunka just one-cycled his landmost headed up in Ganon's tower.
Trying to think what else there was, but oh, I remember. I was like, I know you left something in Thieves Town, and I was trying to, or Pod. The vanilla big key chest had the Thieves Town small key, but there was just there wasn't anything of importance in the Thieves Town big chest.
Yeah, I went in Pod with 3 keys, got the hammer there, and decided just to go to the boss immediately with the hammer yump and get rid of it, and hoping there's nothing back there, because I'm not going back there.
Yeah, Big Dunka decided to, instead of doing Helmasar, checking everything else, and so we saw the Thieves Town small key on the vanilla big key chest.
Good thing that was nothing. It's one of the things you don't want to see after you've done Thieves Town. I see he has his butter sword. Where did he get his last sword?
Spike Cave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the thing was, Big Dunka held off Ice Palace for the longest time and did a lot of one-off checks before finally going to Ice Palace.
He finished Desert before going there.
When I went there, what did I have left? I think I had Desert left. What else? Didn't have much.
Desert and Eastern.
Eastern, but I didn't have the big key to Eastern, so I couldn't go there.
Yeah, the Eastern big key was in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I got it hoping for silvers, which I finally got on Trine X, so I was happy about that. Yeah, I only have Desert and Spike Cave left when I went in Ice. And I had the early Swamp. I didn't want to go in Swamp without the hook shot, so...
Alright, well, Big Dunka has Agatu down. Big pig time for him.
So is there anything you were worried about in this scene?
Well, not really. I always ate the trolls, but I think I've dodged them pretty well. The way I route Keysanity is pretty much do an efficient undo until you're in go mode, and then you finish the seed. So that's why I cleared the first Sphere 1 ASAP, booing Eastern Palace immediately and clearing everything. And that usually works out in Keysanity. There's always a GT big key, which came late, but came before GT, so that's always the worst thing that can happen in Keysanity, just looking for the GT big key.
I'm sorry I have to do this, Vivi, but you may not have been dodging any trolls, but you didn't dodge the troll itself.
Which one?
Trolldorm 2.
Oh, yeah, I was so nervous climbing the GT. Like, no one was done yet, and but yeah, he got me. I destroyed him in the first Trolldorm 1 though, so at least that. It's 1-1. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, Big Duncan missed the torch glitch. He's got 1 silver arrow in the face. Sets up nice for a double here. Just 1 more to go. Ooh, damn, still manages to get it off.
Duncan had really good execution running up this Ganon's tower.
Yep.
And even with all of his going to one-off places, Big Duncan finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 40 seconds, coming in 6th place. GG's to Big Dunka.
All right, we're gonna see if Big Duncan wants to jump in with us.
And he does. Joining us in chat is Big Dunka. GG.
Thank you very much. GG to everybody.
So, I gotta ask, putting off Ice Palace as long as you did, Were you trying to avoid going there at all costs?
I have an unnatural hatred for Ice Palace, so yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not unfounded. I'm just saying that you did, choose to take your dear sweet time getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you know that there was 8 items plus the green, well 7. I never found the key, but and I was like, you know what? There's maybe a dozen or so items in the overworld just in case. They're all kind of bundled together. The only one that was kind of a little bit out of the way was I decided to finish Desert because I was right there. But eventually you know where it is and you're just afraid to go there.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense. But I mean, as we were talking to Vivi earlier, I mean, it turned out to be honestly a pretty linear seed because it really pretty much the most logical place to go had progression.
Yeah, I mean, there were actually it kind of led you around once you got the second tower key. It kind of led you straight to the path. Get the hammer. Pick up a few items, get around to the other side of the world, kind of just clear things out, find the flute, and then, yeah, it just gets to a point where the flippers were that item that I was looking for and decided not to jump on. So it's kind of it. But yeah, no, it was pretty linear.
Yeah, and you had a great execution going up Ganon's tower. That was really clean.
Yeah, actually, execution overall, I didn't feel that bad about. It was just, it's Keysanity. You choose A and it's at B. So, but I actually think overall my execution wasn't horrible on this seed. But, and GT was pretty clean. So it's always nice to have the key before going up there.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's honestly the nature of randomizer. Just sometimes the right play doesn't turn out to always. Well, there's not necessarily a right play, but but there certainly isn't a wrong play. It just turns out to be what the correct play was for that particular seed.
Yeah, it happens. It is what it is, and Keysanity just kind of increases that that threshold. So it is what it is.
And real quick, Data Plet has finished in 7th place with a SRL time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 6 seconds. So Vivi got 3rd, Big Donkey got 6th. How are your feelings on how you did compared to everyone else in the race?
I mean, I see why. I probably wasted 15 minutes checking things that definitely did not need to be checked. If I feel that after finding the flippers, if I had, after finishing what I did, if I had just jumped on it, I think I would have, because it was that, and then I did Mire, and then if I would have gone straight out of Mire into Ice, I probably would have shaved 10, 15 minutes off my time at least. So taking that into account, I feel okay with it. It's just, I don't like Ice Palace. For whatever reason, I don't like it. So I try to put it off as much as I can. And then obviously you step in, and first chest instead of Swamp is the Hierarchy, which is your go mode item. And yeah, the rest is just, it's over. So it is what it is. Again, I'm not too broken up about it. It's just, yeah, the next time it happens and it's an Ice Palace, it'll get me again.
But to both of you, how are you feeling about that small key being on the lumberjack ledge?
You see it at the beginning, and you're always dreading that it's like the swamp key. It was actually the other reason why, after finding the second castle tower key, there was no hesitation in just doing Aga, because there's a good chance that you'd need that key at some point. So, yeah, I didn't even bother if left 6 or 7 items over there. It's like there's no. It's always terrifying, especially if it's something like one of the singleton keys.
Yeah, and given where the hammer and the Titansmiths were, it turned out it wasn't Aga required seed for Dark World access, as opposed to logically the pod small key. It would want you to get it to finish pod.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you actually needed that one for pod.
I did, yeah, because I did open the front door. I found 5, but I did open the front door because I obviously the hammer's in the back, and there was no reason not to start searching that, and then just basically saying I'll find one key later. The way that Pod's a little screwy with Keysanity, so there was if you read it, you're like, there's a really good chance there's something in here somewhere in the back. And what was it, the flute? I think it was the flute. Or no, it wasn't.
The skull,
Hammer.
but-
Yeah, no, it was just a hammer. Right. Yeah. So you could kind of read it and you could see that there was going to be something in the back. So there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to at least continue on to try to finish it.
Well, Big Dunka, Vivi, any final thoughts from either of you?
Thank you for the restream and the commentator and the tracker and speed gaming. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, thanks everybody for the effort. It's awesome. Yay keys, love keys.
Thank you guys for the great runs.
Yes, Princess Kitty, first time commentating. How you feeling after that first race?
Not too bad. I feel like I need to take more notes. But it was great. I feel like we had two great runners who did things very well, and you guys made it easy to commentate for the first time.
Well, certainly it was a pleasure having you aboard, Princess Kitty. I will certainly look forward to commentating with you again.
Thank you. Same here.
All right, so that will probably do it for us here. On the Speed Gaming Network, we have a Celeste tournament on SG4 that just got underway. On the main Speed Gaming channel at 4:30 Eastern, we will have a Sonic Adventure 2 race. We do have a bunch of Zelda 1 randomizer going on. We have one race going on at 5:30 on Speed Gaming 3, and be sure to just check out the schedule. It's we got a whole bunch of other rando going on, not just Zelda, but all the different randomizer and speed racing going on here on the Speed Gaming Network of channels. Again, shout outs to Obscure Jackal, our tracker. Big shout outs for keeping track of all the items, especially a Keysanity seed. Tracking Keysanity is just even more difficult. Big Dunka, Vivi, our featured runners. Princess Kitty, fellow co-commentator. Again, great job on your first comm.
Thanks.
And I think that's going to do it for us here. I am Jex Reffy. Thanks again to the Speed Gaming staff and all the work that they do. Again, please, if you feel obliged, we would appreciate any subs or bit donations. Your sub and donations are what keep the lights on here at the Speed Gaming Network. And that will do it for us. We will see you next mission.
Have a good evening, everyone.